Welcome to the new sound of online radio. Welcome to the sound of Universal Broadcasting Network. 'Cause you make me feel like I've been locked out of hell. A mix of today's hits and hard-to-find favorites, combined with the most entertaining and intriguing talk anywhere. This is your sound. This is the sound of Universal Broadcasting Network at UBNradio.com.
Everyone is a product, and everyone needs marketing to succeed. Let's talk about it right now on the C-Spot. Going to market with Wendi and Peter.
Yep. Hello. I can't hear myself.
Hello.
Oh, we're going to have a great show today, Peter!
Yes, we are. That's a good sign.
So, welcome, everybody. This is the C-Spot with Wendi and Peter, going to market with Wendi and Peter here at UBN Radio. Peter.
Yes, Wendi.
You just rolled in. How are you?
I did. That was like down to the bone.
That was down to the bone.
And
but
I'm
we
great.
like down to the bone here.
Yeah, we do, don't we?
Yes, we do. So, what's going on?
What is going on? Well, the weather's great. It's
We
not
have
so
something exciting to do tonight,
boiling
you
hot.
and I.
Oh, yeah.
We're
We have
going.
some very high excitement tonight that hopefully will...
I get to see the new end of the movie.
And I get to see the movie for the first time, so I'm
Yeah.
really excited about it.
Yeah. So 37.
37,
a final promise.
promise.
It originally was actually called 37. And then they had to put like a tag on it because it was kind of weird. It was like 37. I mean,
Right,
what's
yeah.
37? And so they put a final promise on it, which I kind of like. I'm not
Yeah, I like
not
the
used
tag.
to. Hey, Peter, where am I in the camera? Because I'm looking at myself here and I
Yeah,
feel
you
as
know
though
what?
I'm
You are off-centered.
So just have me move. Tell me where to go.
No, actually, we're going to adjust you right there. Now you're perfectly centered. Like magic. It's amazing. It's as if we have like studio technicians in the studio or something.
Something like that. You
But
know, is that what those two people are over
more-
there? I thought
more
they
on
were
that
my
later.
lovely spirits.
And actually, you know, it's interesting with our shots. It's like I look huge and you look very petite. So maybe it's good because you look really tiny and I look really big.
That kind of works.
Totally.
That kind of works.
You could see it on there, right?
Yeah, I look really small and you
Yeah.
look really big. Well, that's good for you.
Totally.
Sorry, Peter. I'm just
No,
all
it's good.
this
Actually, I think-
sexual thoughts in my head. I can't stand it.
I think this is the biggest I've been since we've been on the show.
I have to make sure that my microphone doesn't look like a penis.
Right.
All right.
Although the way you're, well, okay, forget it.
Okay, let's stop now.
Yes.
How do you
And
like?
I love your
You
T-shirt.
can't see. Okay, so everybody
Wow,
at
were
home,
you about to
right,
bring up your T-shirt?
Right, yeah, right
I
now.
was too. That's so crazy.
You can't see my T-shirt, but now you can.
Yeah. Very nice. Although the mic is blocking it a little bit.
All right, Peter. All right.
Let's see
There
it.
you go.
Oh, nice.
Not my,
I heart
not
to
my
go.
Boobs, I
Oh,
heart to
okay.
go. That's one of our T-shirts that we do for Easy Go Pro.
Yeah, that's great. That's going to be a bestseller right there.
Well, it's the only seller right now, so I guess it is the best one. Hey, so who do we have on the show today?
Well, today we have a couple of very special people and people that some of the UBN radio crowd are familiar with, I'm sure, outside of our show. And actually, people on our show probably have heard us talk about Tony time and time again.
Baloney.
You know, usually within the first 3-4 minutes of the show, I'm sure like
Wendy's
probably
mentioned
about
Tony.
half of the shows we've heard Tony's name mentioned
Hey,
several
Tony, I
times.
need some
Like,
water.
where's Tony? Like the camera is off centered, or
Well, we decided that Peter and I decided that it would be really great to have our guest on today, which is Tony Sweet and Ann Walker, and they are the owners, co-CEOs, I think. Of I'm going to read their bios here in just a minute, but they're like the shit here at UBN.
Yeah.
They are the people. They're the owners, and we love them to death. And I said to Peter, I thought, wouldn't it be interesting to have Ann and Tony on so that they could talk about what it's like, their challenges and things like that, you know, for bringing an internet radio station to market.
you did say that to me.
So that's what we're doing today.
Yeah, and that's a really interesting thing to learn about bringing to market because I have no idea what it takes. So I can't wait.
Yeah, neither do I. But anyway, for those listeners, you didn't see what I just did. But first, Ann Walker is an award-winning actress. However, 4 years ago, she became a radio host and is now the CEO and co-owner of a very successful, a super successful internet radio station, Universal Broadcasting Network. And after the show, Ann, I will tell you why I can't speak very clearly. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks for having us.
Of course, of course. I was just on
great.
your show just a little while ago.
Yeah, 2 weeks
Yeah,
ago.
the Ann Walker show. And then there's Tony Sweet. Tony Sweet is from, wait for it, Granola, Kansas. And came to California to pursue his dream in show business. So he has become a leader in the burgeoning internet radio field. He has been a radio talk host for the last 6 years and is now the president and co-owner of United Broadcasting Network. Peter?
All right, so let's hear it for them.
Oh, there we go.
Thank you.
Welcome, Tony.
Studio audience goes wild.
I know.
That's-
They have as big an audience as I do on my
Wow,
show.
Right.
That's
Sound
the
like the same
C-Spot's
crowd.
first official audience
Yeah.
cheer.
That's our first one.
Well,
Thank you.
And now, before we get into it, ironies upon ironies. Anne and Tony, can I both have you scoot over about 6
Oh,
inches
yeah.
to your left?
Oh,
To the left.
To your left,
There
both
we
of
go.
your left.
this way.
Well, see,
Yeah, there you
then-
go. Perfect.
Oh,
now you
that
guys
thing
are
is not
perfectly
in my-
centered.
Oh, good. Great.
Yeah, no, you guys look great.
Great.
Yay.
Yeah, I'll tell you too. I have it up here, Ann, just in case, because I'm like you. It's like, where's this? Where's
yeah.
that? How's this going
Yeah.
on? And then,
And you know, since we're being so transparent today, and it's a little behind the scenes on many levels, today's also, besides the audience applause track there, it's kind of another first for us. Speaking of
wow, we have an audience applause track now, Peter.
Well, and
wow, can we talk to our guests?
and a second first for us, though, is the new camera layout for the C-Spot, which is fun.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so we're talking.
Directly
I
to you.
am talking into a camera which has Tony and Ann behind it.
Yeah, which I think it makes you look better, not having to turn
Yeah.
your
Talk
head.
to the side
Yeah.
all the
Now
time.
everyone will be facing forward.
Yeah, isn't this great that we are actually doing it with you?
Yeah.
Because it's a first experience. So you guys, welcome.
Well,
and
thank you.
and
Thank you for having
now,
us.
Having two guests on is a little difficult for me. I've had four before, and it's like,
It's a challenge.
Who am I talking to? Who's answering?
But we have the same kind of story.
Yeah.
So we'll go back and forth.
So I would love, first, let's talk a little bit about, I'm going to ladies first.
Ladies
if that's
first.
okay.
All right, I'll go
Tony.
first then. Just kidding.
Oy
Pretty
vey.
lady.
Oy
Oh,
vey.
okay, pretty lady.
Pretty
okay.
ladies first.
We'll let her go
And
first. then.
tell me a little bit about yourself. You were an actress. You still
Yes,
are
I,
an actress.
I still am an actress, and I've been an actor for about 35, 40 years. That was my chosen career in life, and I've had good years, I've had bad years, but once you get over 50, as we all know, unless you're Meryl Streep, it's going
Roles
to be
get far and few
fewer
between.
and far between. So I was on a tour of doing publicity for a movie or a series, I guess, that I had done. And Tony, I went on his show when he was at a long time ago, three stations ago.
Oh, really?
And so we hit it off really well. He asked me to be his co-host. He said he had lost his co-host, and because I'm a talker.
Oh, wow. I didn't know any of this. So this is really
Yeah,
great. Go on.
fascinating.
So, but he interviewed me, for the TV series, and so anyway, 2 weeks later, he called me. He said, "Well, I've lost my lady co-host, and would you like to come and do it?" I thought, "Well, sure, I'll do it." Well, 6 months later, I had gotten the bug. I had been bitten again by this talk show thing, and he kept saying, "You should have your own show. You should have your own show." He said, "When I leave here,
Hear that, Peter?
I did hear that.
when I leave here, I'm going to start another a station. Not another. It wasn't his. He said, "I'm going to start a station of my own. And when I do, I want you to come have your own show." Well, a few months later, lo and behold, he started another station. And I was there for, 2.5 years? Probably
Year and a
a
half.
year and a half.
So Tony, you started another
Station.
I had a station before this. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
And then towards the end of that year and a half I was there, I mean, I was just in love with the whole medium.
Yeah.
And back in the olden days, all we had, it was sitting in the corner, was a laptop computer that was
doing
on
the
Skype,
video?
doing
Oh,
video.
Oh, that was on Skype.
Yeah.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
It was just like we were in the throes of like the Stone Age compared to where we are now.
Yeah.
So then we, that ended for whatever reasons. Businesses,
End. Things end.
Things end.
Everything
And-
comes to an end.
and I decided that I wanted to have an internet radio station. So we got together and we decided to do this. Oh, it was yours?
It's me. Everybody, it
That's
is me.
Wendy's.
I was looking. I
Look
couldn't
at
find it.
Andrea Stooley is calling me right now. And it could be very important, but anyway.
Anyway, but so just hard work and perseverance and everything. Perseverance comes from my 30 years as an actress.
Well, that's,
which helps.
You have to have perseverance to make it
Yeah.
2 years as
Yeah.
an actress,
Yeah.
so you have unsurmountable amounts of
well,
perseverance.
I had a great other part of my life. I had
Sure,
kids and
yeah.
now I have grandchildren
Yeah.
and a couple of husbands. And
I see. Mhm.
well, the second one died. I'd still have him if he wasn't dead.
Well, you do kind of Tony.
So I, Tony's like my brother. So
I can tell.
so go and you tell your side. Now.
Yeah, now you tell your side of the story. She
Yeah.
forced you. She pinned you down.
I was born a poor black child.
No, seriously. How did you get? Just tell me a little bit about how you originally got into wanting to do radio
Well, that's actually a funny
from
story.
show business. I mean, it's two different.
We'll be the
things.
judge of if it's funny or not.
Well, funny and I don't know if it's a ha-ha funny, but I really did not move out here to be. I just love California, moving out here, and so I was here. I've been here 12 years, and about 6 years ago, in 2008, I had auditioned for a show called Gospel Dream on the Gospel Music Channel. It's like American Idol, but for
And they were particularly looking for somebody from Granola, Kansas.
exactly.
Okay.
And I
So
just
you thought you had a good shot at it.
Right. Yeah, no, actually, it was funny. I had my nephew was living with me, and I was going to support him to audition. And so he goes, only if you go and sing too. And I'm like, okay, whatever. I end up making it to Nashville. And so they, take 16 from 5 different cities, go to Nashville, and it was televised. And so after I didn't win, which is kind of probably the best thing.
Shocking.
Because I've been out for, as a gay man for 20 years or more.
You're a what?
I'm a very happy man. And so the Advocate, which is a huge national publication
Right.
for the LGBT community, did a feature story on me. And I started touring around the country of singing at churches, events, whatever it was. And the reason I wanted to start doing radio was because I wanted to reach more people than just going to a church or to an event. And so I thought this would be the great way is when I go to an event, I could promote the show and then they could listen to my show and we talk about whatever. It was really one of the first gay Christian shows in America.
Oh, wow.
I
didn't know there were gay Christians.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I did
the
that.
Christians didn't either.
The Christians didn't either, and it started getting very popular. It became the #1 show on the station that I was
Wow.
at before. Yeah, and so I just started getting a lot of recognized artists in LGBT, and then it slowly moved into entertainment, and that's how I kind of switched to entertainment because I got to a point where I saw what goes on behind the scenes of just Christianity, and I wasn't too happy with it. So I thought, I really enjoy entertainment. I'm a singer, and
So I'm leaving the church.
I didn't leave the church. I left the pulpit.
The pulpit, right? Exactly.
So I started an entertainment show, and it just grew and grew from there. And the reason, as your show marketing, is I think being in business, you have to have a vision. And I saw a vision where the station where I was at before did not see, not just for me, but for themselves. And
well, you saw an opportunity that
Yeah.
wasn't being taken because of I can only assume, because of the word radio.
Right.
Because
I wanted more.
You wanted more. And radio, people think of radio as, when I say that I have a radio show, for instance,
Right.
people look at me like, well, how many people are listening? And I said, I don't know, because everyone around the world can listen.
Right.
Right.
It's true.
You know, it's not, well, what markets are you heard in? And it's like, I don't know.
Because we're in 90 countries. I know
we're
that.
everywhere.
Yeah, any place there's Wi-Fi,
Any-
anywhere you can get
right.
an internet connection,
Right.
this radio station is there. If you have
that's
the call
the
letters,
magic of internet
yeah,
radio.
Right.
it is.
You
And
know?
and I know that right now, because it's just making the turn around the corner with internet, new media, is because, I mean, look at YouTube and all the places like this. It's become so huge, and advertisers even just starting
yeah.
And
to
it's
go.
hard.
Oh, yeah.
It's hard for the advertisers because we are not the kind of company that's big enough to be able to afford Arbitron, which is, I guess, what.
Well,
right,
the
which
Nielsen
is the
ratings,
Nielsen's
yeah.
and the
Yeah.
tracking.
Right.
The tracking system.
Because we can't tell you we can tell you what countries are listening. We can't tell you though in the United States how many men. What
Well, you're
age
never going to
group.
be able to.
you
I
know,
mean, if Arbitron, because that's my business
Yeah.
also. If Arbitron, I think, is telling you that they can tell that, I don't think they actually can drill it down like that.
Well, they
Not
can because
it's internet.
Right. My sister, which is funny, don't tell anybody this, but Arbitron actually contacted her and wanted her to be like a Nielsen family. With Arbitron, and
But
of
for
course,
TV,
and of
though? For
course,
TV,
no,
for
for radio.
radio?
Well,
Oh.
Arbitron is radio.
Yeah,
right?
see,
Yeah.
Nielsen bought Arbitron
Okay.
recently, and so I think it's funny. So they are doing exactly like the television. Nielsen is saying, okay, out of 50,000 homes, these people represent a certain amount of
Right.
people.
These 10 people
Yeah. So-
represent
Yeah.
the whole of America.
But it doesn't make sense to me to think that way. It's like terrestrial radio. They do it by surveys. You can't. There's no way they can
Yes.
tell how many people
That's the
listen.
thing.
When they say 20 million people, there could be 20,000
now, when you say
people.
terrestrial, you mean XM and
No,
Well,
Sirius?
FM AM.
FMAM.
Oh, FM AM is
Yeah,
terrestrial.
satellite is satellite's
Satellite's
XM,
by
it's
Well,
itself.
satellite, you can't.
No.
My thing is
Subscriptions.
satellite. You can't tell. You can
It's
only tell by
subscription.
subscriptions, and you
Yeah.
can't tell how many people listened yesterday to your show.
Right.
Exactly.
Right, yeah.
They can only give you the subscription. But like XM or Sirius,
Yeah.
like Sirius, they have the network has sold advertising,
Right.
and so it plays on everybody's shows. And that's where we'd like to be. That's our goal, is to be able to have advertising for the station.
Oh, yeah.
And,
right.
because
Yeah.
right now we have some advertising on each show that the show is responsible
Like my
for,
show.
for getting. And, but we'd like to be able to have huge advertisers, national advertisers for the network.
So, in bringing it back to marketing, that's you need to generate revenue.
Right.
Right. And you can't generate revenue because the problem is that you can't really say, hey, look at how many people are,
Yeah.
are
Right.
listening or watching or whatever.
We've got numbers and we've got analytics.
Well, you do have analytics
yeah.
because you give me my downloadership
Yeah.
Right.
and my live viewership.
Right.
Right.
Now, Tony, I've been wanting to ask you this. My live viewership, does that mean those are the people who actually
Click
Oh,
in during
click
that time.
during this hour right now?
On
Right
channel we have 2 channels, and so on this channel it shows how many people click during that time.
Okay.
That's how I can tell. And it could be somebody, and this is, it could be somebody that tuned in for 10 minutes, unclicked, came back, clicked
Sure.
in again. So that could be 2
Sure.
people, the
Sure.
same person.
Sure.
But still, that is per
Right.
click. It's the same as
It was more of the live thing that I was actually
yeah.
curious about.
Yeah.
So it is during the hour. Well, that's really cool because that's kind of interesting because you can count the clicks.
right.
Right. Okay. You
But
can,
that's, again, a lot of our hosts, they'll say, we need this, and unfortunately, it does not give me, it's a man, woman,
oh,
Or
no.
what their
well,
ages
address,
are,
phone number,
you know.
how many children. I mean, because a lot of people ask for that. But see, even a lot of major corporations don't ask for that. They mostly ask per click. I mean, even though there's some that they have their market that they go for, and
you can also have impressions.
Impressions,
I mean,
yeah.
you have impressions because it doesn't necessarily mean that, if somebody comes to listen to your show, Ann, and your show, Tony, they're bound to come across my show.
Right.
Doesn't mean that, and the video is only up live during its hour.
Right.
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 So, would that click also include if they're clicking tomorrow on my show and listening to it
If
tomorrow?
if it's a repeat.
No. Well, like it's my show and it's archived on UBN.
Yeah.
Well, the download is different. That's considered, if they click on and listen to your download, that's considered a download.
That's considered a download.
Download.
Now, the download number that I get from you guys,
Mm-hmm.
does that include Stitcher and iTunes?
Yes, sometimes it does, and sometimes it's just when I give you numbers. I try, because usually iTunes, and because it's the same feed,
Right.
iTunes
And Stitcher is the same.
the same feed.
Yeah, it's the
because
same
we
feed.
use this same XLM.
XLM.
Yeah.
XML.
XML. There we go.
Yeah. So Stitcher and iTunes would be I'm just verifying this, a separate line item.
Right.
Okay. All right. I didn't get that last one. No.
But Stitcher is actually great because
A lot of activity comes from Stitcher.
and recently Stitcher has made deals with certain car companies to now they are actually streaming through their car.
That's right. You told me that.
So this is huge for us as internet radio
Yeah.
stations and television, mostly radio, but that people can tap in.
Would it be possible, Ann, to get like picked up by Sirius? Like your
we've
whole
all-
station?
Well, wouldn't that be something? But I don't know how they would do that. How would they do that?
Well, they
Pick
would
us
just
up?
have another
It's
channel.
kind of like syndication.
Yeah,
It could.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, we
you can
could.
do
We
that.
should try to see about that.
You can do that right now with like Roku, what you're trying to get on. And
Yeah, we are attempting
Roku,
on that
because
one.
we are trying to where we can stream our audio video through Roku, which is 30 million people that subscribe.
And then they
Yeah, a lot more,
would be
than
then
growing.
we'd be
Yeah.
on like your home
Television.
television. Yeah.
And
Right.
it would have the shows archived there,
They
audio
would,
and video.
they would, yeah. They would. It would be archived there too.
So what's really unique about I found how I ended up here at UBN was because I saw that you guys really kind of had your poopy together. There's a poop word. when it came to being, your studio for one thing. Number two, for those of you that don't know it, we're living the dream here because we get to come to the Sunset Gower Studios
Historical, yeah.
every
Sunset
day
Gower.
on the corner of Sunset and Gower, which is pretty remarkable. Peter had a hard time parking today because there's so many VIPs on the lot, so
Yeah.
we're going out on
Well,
a lot.
there are a lot of shows that are in
Starting up.
production.
Yeah, they just started production.
Scandal and Newsroom
Newsroom.
just finished, but Scandal just started a
I
week or
thought
two
Newsroom
ago.
got canceled.
It did, but they've already finished the last season. They filmed the last season recently.
Oh,
It
okay.
just hasn't come back on.
Okay.
But then there's a whole bunch of new shows I keep seeing
Oh, I
around.
can't. Yeah, I love it because it's so exciting, and it gives it. What's great is it gives the
You feel like
station
you-
that cachet
Yeah,
of you're really kind of in the entertainment world.
You feel like
right?
you're going somewhere important.
Exactly.
Thank God.
You do.
Yeah.
You really do. And that brings in better guests.
Yes. Guests,
And
exactly.
your guests, depending on your guests, bring in your viewership, right? So it's really important for you guys. What's your selection process? What's your approval process for your hosts, to be able to have, because by the way, you're able to have a show here at UBN.
Right.
All you have to do is call Tony and Ann.
Well, it's like what you said is have your poopy together.
Yeah.
Because there's so many people that want a show that they come in and they'll say, I want a show. And you're like, what do you want to do? And it's like, well, I don't know. I just want a show. But that's not, for me, it's not attractive to me, because if you're representing Universal Broadcasting Network,
Right.
and if it's not great content, and
Right.
if you don't know your content from day one, it's really not going to go much. Your audience is going to be like, what the hell's going on here?
Well, I think that people who already have a brand
Yeah,
or
it's
are
great.
trying to build a brand through whatever it is that they do, whether it's, arts and crafts or poopy stools.
Well, that's a
That's
side
not-
thing.
I know it's a side thing.
Thanks, Ann.
But I'm just saying. I know you're marketing, but you already, when you came here, you had a brand.
I have a
You
brand,
have a
my
business.
C-Spot run business.
Right.
Yes. Yeah.
And I think those kinds of people who see the advantage of being able to have a show every week
Right.
talk about what they do.
Right.
You know,
And build their personal
and build-
brand.
yeah.
And get a message out
that's
there.
that's who we want because they already got their shit together.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I came because of a video thing. You know, I thought that it was really great that you guys do the live video.
And you can you own your own show.
And I own my own show, so
And
now
you can take it and put it up on YouTube.
Well, and my guests can have a video of
Right.
their show, and like our sponsor, Direct Avenue,
Yeah.
they took their show. Scott took his show, and he kind of cut it up and made it like this really cool
nice.
question and answer thing that he uses for his own marketing
that's
tool.
great. Yeah.
Right. So that's kind of for me and my show, it's about giving people opportunities. We believe everybody's a product.
Mm-hmm.
And entrepreneurs and brands and everybody and the like, everybody needs an opportunity to have a marketing tool, to have something. So we use the radio show as a marketing tool for them, and we can all share. And then, it's really great because they get to take it away with them. And now with the video, it's very, very cool
I think
to
so,
have this
too.
video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
And a year ago or a year and a half ago, I guess we started a little over, I think 19
19
months
months.
ago.
Counting every day in.
Yeah.
Every month.
But at the other station I had before, it was a Global Voice Broadcasting. It was, and I never thought about doing video, even though we, like you said, we had the laptop and we would run. I think it was actually Ustream we ran through.
Oh, Ustream, right?
And so it intrigued me. But when we opened this, I really didn't know what I was getting myself into because I knew I wanted to add this. And it has been working great, but it's a lot of work to keep up on this because I was new to it. I've learned so much in the year and a half that we've been doing this, and every day I'm learning something new.
The technology involved in it.
It changes all the time.
All the time.
And we went through a lot of different cameras. We would get cameras in here. Then we'd send them back because they weren't
They
working.
wouldn't work.
And then we'd get more cameras. It was a real hit and miss project.
Well, if people
for a
could see
long
the
time.
studio right now, we're sitting here and it's a big table. Peter's sitting behind the board,
Yep.
Working everything. Tony and Ann are way over there. Well, it's not that way over there, but
just the end of the table.
You're at the end of the table, which actually you can have 6 people.
Yeah.
6 people in here,
Yeah.
which is amazing. So then you have 1, 2, 3, 4 cameras, and you have to have lights. Then you have to have all this feed. I mean, for a new business person, the investment must have been pretty hairy.
Well, let me just say, we needed to start with a bigger investment. I did not realize what
Takes a lot.
what it really monetarily takes to get a business like this up and running, and the cost of things. And we got a lot of stuff that was secondhand. I mean, some of the cameras that we first started with, until we could afford to get the better cameras, and but I think
I even built this table.
he built
You
the
did?
tables.
Yeah,
Yes,
myself from
we
scratch.
Wow.
built these
That's
tables.
amazing.
We were in here, and the man was just crazed. I was helping. I was painting. I painted the legs and the bottom of these tables.
Wow,
But
it's a beautiful table.
isn't it nice?
Yeah.
It's huge.
And the one we used to have, we
great for a
still have
party.
in the other studio. He built that one too.
Yeah.
And
Tony,
he's just
you're
a
gay.
Well, what's funny?
He's
What's
from
funny?
granola though.
But what's
Granola boys know how to build.
What's funny,
shit.
when I went to look at tables just like this, even smaller,
Oh,
and they
yeah.
were so basic, they were like started at $3,000.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I was like, "Are you kidding me?" I said, "Screw it, I'm going to go to Home
this
Depot."
this is a fantastic
I paid
table.
less than $500 for all the supplies.
Yeah, but look
and
at the
stuff.
labor you
Wow.
put into it,
Yeah.
honey.
Right.
Your
But
time,
yeah.
your time was
That's what
worth
Ann-
that
that's
other
what Ann says, I think.
$2,500.
That's what Ann's like. I think we went in the wrong business. You should build tables
Yeah,
and we can sell
we
the tables.
Yeah.
This is a great party table because everybody can talk to everybody.
Right. And that's what I wanted.
know?
I didn't just want like a dinner table like a lot of stations have. I wanted to build an actual way people can just look at each other on different angles.
Yeah, well, the reason that you're sitting, this is our first show where guests are, you guys are actually sitting over there. All my other shows, if anybody that's watched any of them, well, I'm facing this way because I always have my guests close to me over
Right.
here. And last week it dawned on me, why am I doing that? So it's I'm anxious to watch this. So I can see myself and I'm looking straight ahead and I
Love it.
You love
I
that.
love
yeah,
it.
it
Yeah.
just looks so great.
I
that
love
way.
it. You don't have, this thing going on
Oh,
here,
believe
right?
me, honey.
Right, Ann?
Yeah, I know.
And
Yeah, no.
It's true.
Yeah, so this way from now on.
Perfect.
Are we going to take a break?
Yeah, I think it's a good place for a
come
break.
back?
Yeah.
Okey
And speaking of our sponsor earlier, how they broke up their episode into segments, that looked really terrific.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
I think it's a good thing for any of our guests to do.
Yeah.
And without further ado, we will have a word from
We're not
our
doing
sponsor.
Easy Go Pro today. We're
Gotcha.
only
So here's a word from our sponsor.
Direct Avenue is much more than a leading direct response TV media buyer. We specialize in the expert planning, brand building, analysis, and management of short-form and branded DRTV ad campaigns. We manage direct response TV ad campaigns for clients throughout the United States and Canada. As a Direct Avenue client, you'll benefit from big agency relationships and resources, but receive boutique agency service with the flexibility and creativity to plan and manage a TV ad campaign that meets the particular needs of your company. For more information, visit directavenue.com. When you contact us, mention you heard about us on the C-Spot radio show and receive a free analysis of your TV ad campaign.
And we are back.
Oh, we're back. Sorry, I'm
that's
making
what that was.
I'm making the mistake of watching my laptop today.
Oh, right, so you're
I'm
behind. You're
seeing
still
the delay,
watching the
and I'm going,
commercial.
we're all right. We're not back yet. Hey, Peter.
Yeah, Wendy.
This is where are we? We're here at UBN Radio,
UBNradio.com, Channel 1,
C-Spot.
C-Spot,
Yeah.
going to market with
Yeah.
Wendy and Peter every Thursday at 12 noon Pacific Standard Time.
Right, and our guests today are Tony Sweet and Ann Walker, who
Thank
are
you.
the
Ooh.
owners and runners and table makers and microphone buyers
And
of UBN Radio.
not only are they the owners, table makers, the whole thing, but they have their own shows
That's
here
right.
at UBN Radio.
we
right.
sure do.
Tony, what's the name of your show? Ann Walker is Ann.
The Ann Walker Show. Yep.
Oh, mine's On Air with Tony Sweet.
Oh, that's original. You
I
guys.
know. Well, that's what's funny. When I first started, it actually when they asked me, "What do you want your name to be for the show?" And I was like, "I don't know." And I just happened to look over and I saw On Air with Ryan Seacrest.
Oh,
That's the only reason I did
wow.
it. I'm like, On Air with Tony Sweet, and that's how it started.
I actually like that a lot, and I like that it's the Ann Walker Show.
Well, the reason I chose that instead of getting a cute name was that I too have a brand. I'm an
Yes.
actor.
Yeah, you're Ann
and,
Walker.
I again, those actors who are getting on up there, the character actors, people have a tendency to forget you're alive. And it's so much fun to go places and be out in the world, have your little business card or your show card and say, listen, I have a radio show, and my topics are LGBT topics and
Yeah.
politics. And
those are not hot topics.
well, I'm a big ally of the LGBT community, and I'm an avid, rabid Democrat. So there's a lot that I can talk about.
It would have been a little weird if you were a Republican.
Yeah, it would, wouldn't it? Yeah. There should be more Republicans who feel the same way I do about my LGBT people.
Well, then they would be
They'd be smart.
Democrats.
Yeah, I guess that's true. But anyway, that's how I decided. Whenever I decided after 6 months of being with him, I didn't have any clue about what I wanted to do on the show. I just wanted to keep my face and my voice and my name
out being
there.
heard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and then it's really great because I have
It's
a
really
fan
fun.
base. I
Yeah.
have a fan base all across the United States.
I know I was on your show and they were making fun of me
Yeah.
on Twitter.
But it's been great. It's been a real boom. I don't know how much more I'm getting work, but I still work. Got a call yesterday for somebody wanting my talent.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, they're making a sizzle reel
Oh, that's great.
of a pilot for a new show. And
and you're going to be the sizzle?
no, I'm going to be Lois Lane.
Oh, you are?
It's a comedy skit with Superman and Lois Lane as old people,
Oh, that's funny.
and he's lost all of his superpowers.
Oh, that's too well. Believe me, he's just like every other guy.
Yeah.
It's old.
Exactly. Yeah. So anyway,
Tony, what's your show about?
Mine's all about entertainment, from Broadway, film, television, authors, best-selling authors.
Yeah.
There's a lot of entertainment shows out there, and what I try to do is make it a little different. I try to pull the true story of what was your passion to get you where you're at. What got you here? Was it the family support or just, perseverance or whatever?
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, and because you see a lot of entertainment shows, it's a lot of gossip shows, and I didn't want to do the gossipy stuff. But I do have two co-hosts, Carla Renata, who's an accomplished actress herself. She works all the time. And then on my Friday show is Eddie Connor, who's a psychic. So
that's cool.
Yeah, so once a month we actually do it's called On Air with Tony Sweet, Truth Be Told. It's kind of a conspiracy theory. UFOs, Freemason. Yeah, it's actually,
really?
we just started
like the Da Vinci Code kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it's doing
Very
really,
interesting.
really, really well. I've had some great people from like Ancient Aliens on and MUFON, which is a mutual UFO network. And yeah, it's doing really
Yeah.
well.
A UFO
And
show.
you'd be surprised at how big an audience
It's
that
huge.
is.
Yeah.
It's got to be huge because I was just telling my husband the other night, and he doesn't like to watch anything that I like to watch, okay, at all. He won't watch Ray Donovan, even though it's a
Really?
great frickin' show. He won't watch it because I like it. He won't watch it, whatever. The Game of Thrones. He doesn't like Peter Dinkler or whatever his name is because he's short. Dinklage, because he's kind of weird looking and short. And I thought, that is just
That's
rude.
a weird way not to watch
That's
something.
right.
It's
sorry,
not.
sorry, Marino, if you're watching and listening right now, but it's true. So anyway, but
I have an ex-girlfriend on Ray Donovan.
oh, you do?
Yeah.
Well, who is this?
His wife.
That's your ex-girlfriend,
Yeah.
Ray Donovan's wife. She,
Yeah.
the one from Southie. She's learning. They're learning to talk. She's trying to learn how to talk like a Los Angeles person.
Well, I don't get
funny.
Showtime, so I haven't
It's a
seen
great
Ray
show.
Donovan.
And she's
Yeah.
Irish in real life, so she's amazing at dialects.
Yeah, she's
Really?
great. She has a. They all have a Southie.
Yeah.
They come from Southie.
And she
in
was
Boston.
on Deadwood before Ray Donovan.
Yeah.
Oh,
for her.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So here's my point: is we are watching together. The only show we do watch is Fallen Skies,
Oh,
which
okay.
is an alien show.
Oh,
Which is the
yeah.
worst show on television, but it's it's your typical the world is coming to an end. It's got Noah Wyle in it, and
Yeah.
but it must have this huge following because it's still on
they
the
get
air.
Cult. It's when stuff like that, it gets
Yeah.
to be a cult following, and it is. If you ever heard of Coast to Coast AM,
Yeah.
with George Norrie.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, that's honestly a lot of his guests I've been having coming on mine. So
He does a outer space show too.
Oh, yeah.
Not really outer space, but UFO,
UFOs
like
or
alien
conspiracy
and
theories.
Conspiracy theories,
Yeah.
like
I had a Zuni elder on last week.
Where do you find these people?
It's actually I've been very fortunate with the Conscious Life Expo. They become like a sponsor of mine, and they get these people to come to their conference, and so we've been trading back and forth, free promotion. They send
right,
me-
Yeah.
exactly. There you go.
Yeah. And then it's Adventures Unlimited Press, which is one of the main characters or main host of Ancient Aliens. He owns it, and they've been sending me people too. And so they're a sponsor. So
See, but you've got
Fabulous.
as a radio host, you have to be interested in whatever
Yeah, you have to keep
subject.
it fresh, right?
And he's so interested in this, it makes the show so incredible
Yeah.
to watch.
Yeah.
I my people are my people. That listen.
LGBT or
Yeah.
politicians,
But
gay politicians.
yeah, well, but not necessarily because
I know,
I've done shows about.
But there's a hell of a lot of them.
Yeah.
Oh,
we
yeah.
know that.
But I've also done shows about Scientology. I've done whole shows because I'm a real hater of Scientology.
Tell us how you feel.
Well, I just think it's a cult, and it's
is a cult.
takes people's money
It is a
and
cult.
gives them nothing in return.
Takes their brain.
Yeah, and it keeps them away from having a life. And
that's where my brain
And I
went.
think they're listening to us because they're actually really not too far away from here.
I
Oh,
know.
yeah.
I hope they are. I when I do shows like that, I'm pretty sure they're listening.
It's a weird for anybody that has never driven by the Scientology
Oh.
like headquarters. You've got Kaiser Permanente, and then you've got which is right next
With-
to
Yeah.
the Scientology.
which has a big old like golden cross, and I think that's
Oh,
the funniest thing.
gee.
That property used to be the self-realization property down there, where you'd go and
Where you would
meditate.
go, oh, yeah.
And it was a beautiful grounds, and it's still pretty. I mean, as far as grounds go, but I pass by there because
Where was I? I just saw the Self-Realization Center. Oh, in San Diego. And
well,
then there's one
also
in Malibu.
Yeah,
right.
Right on Sunset at the end of Sunset.
Yeah. Oh, that
is
answers
really
that
beautiful.
question. How they got that plot of land.
Yeah.
They kicked him out. Gave him money for it. But yeah, so
they threatened him.
There's a lot of shows on UBN that I think people that your listeners should tune into, because the one thing we take a great pride in is the variety
Your
that
content.
we have.
Yeah.
And from psychology shows to entertainment to LGBT to marketing to
Sports.
Got
2 sports shows.
Yeah, even animal magnetism.
I was going to say you have an animal.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the funniest part about that one is one time I got approval from Gower, because they're very picky on letting animals on. But I got the approval to have some animals come in for Carolyn Hennessy's show. They had these lemurs.
What's a lemur? What's
like
a lemur?
monkey.
Like a monkey with a long tail.
But has big
my
eyes.
God.
Oh, yeah.
They came in and brought him into this studio, and Jamal was running the board, and they just let him off the leash. And they were bumping around. You'd see the cameras.
I wish I was
Oh,
there.
it was the cutest thing. But I was like, please don't poop or pee on the on the equipment, please.
Monkey pee.
I know.
Oh,
I know, Stan.
Can you
God.
imagine?
But yeah,
Something
so
smells in here, Tony.
sorry, that was me.
No, we also have a show called The Amazing Hour. It's on Tuesday nights at 7 o'clock. And these 2 women, they go around and they find the goodness, the good stories in the world, the good
that's
people
nice.
doing good things, whether it's authors
So good
or
news.
Yeah, and I think everybody needs that. I've personally find all the bad stories and talk about and rant and rave about that, but but it's good to have a diversified kind of lineup.
It's and you're having your radio station, right? You have to, like in anything, you have to have a differentiator, right? And you can't just be an internet radio station that has, regular old content,
Right.
with because it gets boring, right? It's difficult because you have to vet your hosts. Watch, I'm gonna get asked to leave after the show. You have to vet your hosts well. You have to, you have to make sure that they're going to keep in the culture and the integrity that you want
Right.
for your
Yeah.
station, for your UBN Radio's brand message, right? Because you have a few brands going on. You've got like a whole hell of a lot of brands actually under this one brand, which
Right.
is UBN.
Right.
And you need that to support your growth, right? Because if they grow, you grow.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know.
That's why I would never take any show for granted, because each one, it has their own ability to bring a lot of numbers to us.
lot of value.
But also every voice is so unique. I think we have on here. From the dating shows. We have one dating show
we have
now.
2 kids shows, teen
two
shows,
teen
Yeah.
shows.
which
on
is
the weekend.
I find that funny, because I'm thinking, man, when I was 15, 16 years old, I was barely knowing what I had for breakfast and still picking my
These
nose.
kids are so up on things,
They
know,
are.
as far as their brand
Fif-
or their
Yeah.
career.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
they're really into brands, and they understand brands much
they know
more than
social
we do.
media. They know how to really brand
Yeah.
themselves. through social media.
Exactly. So they have there's something there that we all can learn from them.
Oh yeah.
You know.
But they're also being pushed, I think, and this not in a negative way, but I think they have now realized with the Lindsay Lohans and all these Disney kids who start young.
Amanda Bynes.
Yeah,
and
and
everybody
they-
that falls apart eventually.
Yeah,
Even Zac
but
Efron.
They have these careers where they make a lot of money, and I think that parents see that also.
Yeah.
And they push right on in there, and they want their kids to excel fast.
Well-
and make a lot of money.
The people I just mentioned were the people that fell in the dumper.
Well, but there are other ones that do
That haven't.
that haven't,
and they set good
can-
examples,
yeah.
which is really tough. I mean,
not Justin Bieber or anything like that.
no, or Amanda Bynes,
Or
or actually
Amanda.
Zac Efron, or
Yeah.
any of them, because just go out at night,
but, yeah, Lindsay Lohan.
see what's
or a
going
girl.
on, right? But they're amazing people regardless.
But
right?
if Lindsay Lohan came in and wanted a radio show, don't you think we'd let her have one?
Of
course.
Yeah.
right before mine or after mine.
Before would be good.
We're not
Before,
dumb.
so you'd have a good lead
Yeah,
in.
we're not dumb. We know.
Yeah.
You can be as crazy as you want right here. Universal
You got
Broadcasting.
50 minutes to do
You
it.
have 50. That's what I always say. It's my show. I'll
That's
do what I
right.
want. I'll eat what I want in my car is one of the things I always tell people. Is like, because I used to eat like Hostess snowballs, and my sister-in-law would say, "How can you eat those things?"
Like this?
And I would say, "Well, I only eat them when I'm in my car," because people would like look at me. Once I was in like Amsterdam airport, and I had a pack of pink snowballs. I had flown there, and I was on a layover, and I was so hungry, so I'm eating my snowballs, and I'm in Amsterdam, and they don't really know Hostess
They're like, what
snowballs.
the hell?
It's
She
like, what the
eating a
hell is
shoe?
she eating?
It's like a pink shoe.
It was funny. I
Like a
was so
pom
little.
pom off a pink shoe.
But anyway, so we love being here,
We love,
We
having,
love having you
here.
here.
you
We
know.
do. You and Peter.
And
We do love being here.
And yeah, Peter, you were awfully quiet. Peter was busy because he's working the board. You're doing a great
and
job.
there's-
Ricky took a
over
nap.
there.
I heard him
and
snore.
I'm here with I'm here with three very talkative and
We are that, aren't we,
gregarious
Peter?
people, so
We just like looking and hearing ourselves.
right.
Looking
That's another reason that you should have your own show. Somebody.
You can watch yourself
If you
over and
if you
over.
love listening to the sound of your own voice.
That's right. And look now here at UBN
Yeah, and looking
Radio,
at yourself.
you can look at yourself too. So
Yeah.
you've got the best of both worlds, and you can share it with the rest of the world.
Yeah, because they've been waiting and waiting and waiting for that
They
magic
couldn't
moment.
Wait.
That's
Yeah.
too funny. You can actually find all of my shows on YouTube,
Yeah.
right?
What is your YouTube?
You know, it's C Spot Run Direct.
Yeah.
The letter C Spot Run Direct. I should change it to just the radio show, but YouTube gives you a real hassle about that if you
Yeah.
start changing the name of your channel.
Really?
Yeah, I tried last week and they wouldn't let me do it. You had to set everything up anyway, so I just left it the way it was. What's your YouTube channels?
Well, we have UBN TV. It's
Oh.
yeah. We put it there.
And you put both of your shows there.
I don't.
She hasn't
you
put her
don't?
shows yet. I don't put a lot of mine. I just put like certain interviews that I've done.
I
Because
put,
here's the problem is, I've learned, and Ann needs to do this on her show. I've learned when you take breaks, I stop the video, so the music won't
Right.
be copywritten.
Oh, right.
And I'll get
Yeah.
a flag.
Because you can't get on there if
we
you have
couldn't.
those.
I couldn't. I put. You also do real quick. Let's mention this. You do a host music show.
Oh,
the,
yeah.
the once a
My
month.
favorite tunes.
My favorite
Yeah,
tunes.
my favorite
Yeah.
tunes.
Which you did one, and you and
Yeah.
That's
Ariana.
dude.
Ariana. I was gonna
Ariana
say,
Savalas.
yeah. That was a great show.
And you know what, Tony? I went to see her perform.
How was it?
And she, I'd seen her perform before.
Right.
But, and she wrote a song for me.
Oh, how nice.
Aw.
And I cried.
What was the name of it?
And I cried. I don't know what she's calling it, but it's going to sound weird. I think she's going to call it Johnny Carson. Because it's a beautiful, beautiful, frickin' beautiful song, and I just sat there and I bawled. And
Wow.
I think the guy at the bar next to me thought, "What the hell is wrong with her? She's crying over Johnny Carson." You know? Who is Johnny Carson? But it was really gorgeous. It was really
I can't
beautiful.
wait
It
to
was
hear
such
it.
a compliment.
You should have her.
Yeah.
I'd love
have
to
her
hear-
come
I
back.
think it was the first time that she did it was there because
Wow.
I could tell that she
She's
wrote
talented.
it for me.
She is talented.
Yeah, she's amazing. So we'd love to come back and have gin and
That'd be
do gin
great.
and jazz again.
That was fun.
And we also, the network produces every month or month and a half, we produce a live play that
that's
goes out
right.
on Sunday afternoon.
Yeah.
And
There's no video. That's a live play.
No, it's video.
No, it's
Oh, it's
video.
video.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
they're
the
just more
people are
sitting
just
around
sitting around the
in a
table.
circle.
But yeah, we've done that at the other station we were at, and it's great. It's like being the old time theater. you know?
the radio
the
theater,
radio
right?
theater. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. And you get real actors that do that,
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, most of these are SAG actors.
SAG and I mean equity actors and people that we know, and sometimes we had like upwards for 25,000 people listening that we were able to not this
That
last
you
one.
knew were listening.
Yeah, that we were able to click. They had clicked.
Yes,
on.
exactly.
And
I know, right?
it's
so that
big.
that begs the question: why don't you run that feature more often then?
Well, we'd like to.
It takes some time.
It's a lot of
together.
production
Yeah.
behind it and putting things together. Robert Hensley, he's been producing it, and so and he of course has his own full-time job. So yeah, we would love to do more.
We want to make them special and want to
Yeah.
make them really good.
Well-
so we don't want to just do anything.
Exactly. You know, every week it does take a little bit of time. You know, it's a little, it's a different thing. I used to run to the studio at the old station I was at, and I didn't wear makeup, and I would go in my sweats and whatever. But you know, I always liked doing it from the studio, not from home or
Right.
whatever. And then now, you know, you got to shower up.
Yeah.
You got to put
We
some,
don't have to,
put some
but-
makeup on. You know, that's
Somebody
the-
came in the other day, a guest, and they said, "Is this on TV?" I said, "Well, it's a internet TV kind of thing." He said, "I had no idea I was going to be on camera. I would have dressed better."
Yeah. See, so, and it's great for that reason, but also we have to produce it more, right?
Right.
So anybody that has a show or would like to have a show and could call you, because they have a great concept and idea and have experience and really compelling individual.
Good sell.
It's a little bit of it is a little bit of, you have to be organized and put your show together.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have to.
'Cause we
it's
don't
not
do
one
that
of those
for
where
you.
you can just come in and think you show up every week 10 minutes before going,
That's
what am
what
I
I
what I'm
used
gonna,
to do.
And because now it's like, oh, crap.
Right, and
Because
so-
then it'll look really
Yeah,
unorganized.
it has to be produced, and that's what Peter does very,
Great job,
very well.
Peter.
Peter does an
Hey,
amazing
thank you.
job in producing it, because when we do have guests on, we're cutting away to their photos, or we're cutting here and there, and you see Peter's cutting back and forth. You see different camera things happening, and that's what, you know, the producer or the person who's sitting at the
Right.
board has to do. So it is like just doing like a little mini talk show.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
really is.
It is.
It is, and that's what we like.
And that's what I love.
That's what.
Because
we
without
love
talking,
that.
there wouldn't be
we
anything.
love ourselves, so
Yeah.
we really love
yeah.
this.
Yeah.
And that's kind of a great way to wrap things up with the big love fest. And so if people do
Yeah.
want to get a hold of you guys to propose a new show, how do they do that?
They can either email us at tsuite@ubnradio.com or
Ann at ubnradio.com. And then if you want information, there's one that says info at ubnradio.com.
I have one more thing, you guys. I
for it.
have to just say, Tony,
Yes.
your last name is Sweet, and you come from Granola, Kansas. That's weird.
What's funny, it's granola. I hear it all the time. Is like they're like, is that like the cereal? And I'm like, sure, yeah. It's my dad owns a company.
There you go. Anyway, thank you for being
Thank
here.
you.
Welcome. Thank you
Peter.
very
Amy.
much.
Thank you. It's a really fun show. I love being here. I know Peter does, although he doesn't
I
say
love
too
it.
much. Sorry, Pete.
He couldn't get a word in edgewise here.
But we're going to bolt on out to the food truck
Ooh,
because
that sounds good.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is
I don't
today.
either.
Today I saw it's hot burger, like
Ooh.
HAUTE, so fancy burgers.
Oat
Oat burger.
Oat burger.
It's
Oat
an
burger.
The hell
It's
is that? An
burger. It's a French burger.
HAUT. Or
It's French.
HAWT.
High fashion.
Yeah.
Haute couture.
Haute couture.
Exactly. Oh well. Anyway, I think we got to wrap it up.
We got to wrap
Okay.
up.
And
It's time
so
to get
we
outta
will
here.
be back next week on Thursday at 12 noon with Paul Greenberg.
With Paul Greenberg from Greenberg Direct, and he's
Yes.
just a hysterical guy and just full of fun. You can get a hold of us. You can get a hold of Peter if you'd like to be a guest at petersobe@gmail.com.
Correct.
You can see us on our YouTube channel at C-Spot Run Direct.
C-Spot Run
Just
Direct.
type in Wendi Cooper and it's all going to come out. My God, I'm Google. I
Yes.
got like 10 pages of Googleism.
All over the place.
All over. But we love you, and we love that you listen and that you watch. And we'll see you next week.
See you next week.
All right.